Three main things, right? Anyone who wants to hit a little draw of her irons.
Look at that on camera, it looks mental.
From this position, it's harder to drop it to the inside, right?
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Right, Chris, very nicely,
We're back. Has
drove to my house in my simulator for once for my lesson. I haven't had a lesson for a while. We've done a bit of driver work. We haven't done any irons, anything like that for a long time. So as always, my lesson's your lesson, and yeah, you might pick something up. Tom's going to sit here, relax, film it, and yeah, a lot of iron work today, a lot of feely stuff, and just try and get ready for the oncoming season and getting down to scratch.
The recurring theme, you know, is the path is averaging net 2.4 across the ball, yeah?
Yeah.
So for a neutral golf shot, you know, you're hitting small pulls, or you're hitting little pull fades or small pull draws. But ultimately, the recurring theme is the start line is going to be a problem if you want to be draw biased with that path. You get into like this position, like almost textbook, right? This is a 9-iron, isn't it?
No, it's pitching wedge.
Pitching wedge, right? Very short iron, right? And then you're having this sort of lift, okay? So the right elbow and the lead arm, just last part of the swing, lift and go. It goes too long.
Right.
Now you can't be swinging that long with a pitching wedge. Now I don't mind if it's purely led by pivot, right, but your arms are lifting ever so slightly, which is basically adding elevation and moving it slightly too much in a steep manner on the way down. So it's just very so slightly outside the ball. So it's, you know, the golf swing is a semicircle at this point, which is about a foot before you hit it.
Yeah, I'm out.
That club head should be on the arc.
So I've simplified my swing, but I'm just that.
You're a little long, and your setup for a draw, the ball position is too much middle or slightly forward of middle.
Right.
Now, because your swing is so neutral now, we've discussed this many times, right? The golf swing's a semicircle. Assuming it's a semicircle, loads of people come to me and they've got big out to win or big into. Assuming it's relatively neutral, which yours is. If I want to hit a draw, where on that semicircle do I want to hit the ball?
The ball's going to be further back on it.
Right. So I think if you could have a slight bit more shaft lean, one ball further back, and you keep the swing a hair shorter to eradicate this lift. Right. So what you're doing is you're in a perfect spot. Perfect. Get to about here. Then there's this and this lift up a tiny bit as it overruns.
Right.
And because of that, from here to here, it's now coming down steeper.
So I just...
If you keep it shorter, it's not going to do that. Rather than put your hand forward, right, just move the whole instrument back a little bit. Now it feels forward, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So now, when you had shaft lean,
I was doing it.
When you had shaft lean, and let me demo it. If the shaft is neutral, and I take the club away, the club head is relatively neutral, right? So that's going to be setting roughly a neutral path.
Yeah.
If I add a little bit of shaft lean, people say it's to take the fake loft off and compression, it's not, right? If I add a shaft lean and I leave that geometry the same and come away, where is that club head now in relation to my hands?
Behind it.
That's it. So you're already positioning the centre of mass behind the hands, which is going to encourage what path?
On the inside.
Right. So if you want to draw it, go and look at Tommy Fleetwood, who's a really good pusher. You need to preset, don't need, but it's a massive advantage, or at least, you know, low-hanging fruit, to position the mass behind the hands.
Okay.
So that, accompanied with a ball position that's just ever so slightly back of centre, so under right pec for a mid-iron, is going to encourage you to hit it earlier in your semicircle. That, accompanied with just a tiny bit shorter.
Right, do you put a stick where my swing should stop?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So it's not so much about the stop, it's about the depth piece. So swing up to the top. This is something we did right back at the start.
Yeah.
So hands, put the ball slightly back. Swing up to the top.
Like that then, yeah?
Yeah, perfect. Swing up to the top. Turn as normal, don't change over, stop. Right. Here. That's as far for a wedge, right? Which is, so you want to feel like your hands are stopping level with that shoulder. Now, as the shaft gets longer and the club gets longer, and obviously you've got a bit more momentum, you know, driver we can see it parallel, if not a little bit past parallel. I do not want a pitching wedge up here, which is kind of exaggerated, where you are. From this position, it's harder to drop it to the inside, right?
Yeah, so it won't take, like, yardage off by going
No.
So hands to shoulder with every
So
iron.
think about this. So this is another thing. Will it take yardage off? You know, swinging longer increases the range of our hand path, so it gives us more speed. But if we change the source of velocity, so I'm a massive advocate of, if you've got speed, if you've got a relatively short hand path and you can create velocity through the ground, you can get what you lose in 2 or 3 centimetres up here through down here.
Right.
If you said to me, Chris, if I swing longer, will I create more speed? Yes, but will you lose efficiency? potentially.
Yes. Right.
You've got to find that balance, right? When you keep going, this left arm wants to lift.
Right, okay.
Now you're going to want to come this way, yeah? So there. And then everything else same. Shoulder, normal swing. Now this shouldn't feel massively different because I'm not asking you to change your swing. Okay, look at the path, 0.5 from the inside. Now, because your path previously was left, your face had a habit of getting left. You sent me some data, path was left, face was left. So, remember that face is the biggest indicator on where the ball is going to start. So if we want to become slightly draw biased, now we're moving the path, where do we want to aim the face?
More right.
So, and we're talking 2 yards. So I personally would use this yellow line. This is matched, right? So set yourself up to the yellow line for a second. And all I would simply do, if that's 12 o'clock...
Yeah, but it isn't when I do the shaft lean.
Yeah, that's it. So, but make sure, like, do the shaft lean there. You didn't open it. So do the shaft lean like that. So now if you look at this, right, that leading edge, although it appears open, is square to the shaft because you've pushed it forward, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So if I do this, this is, again, where it's not taut. So if I push the handle forwards and keep the face square on square, right? As soon as I move that handle back to vertical, look at the face.
Okay.
You see it?
Yeah.
Right, so as I position this forwards to make my centre of mass move back, the handle naturally will open the face, but it still remains square to the shaft. If I move it back, look,
so
still
it's not open.
It looks open, but it's not open.
But it's square to the club.
So in theory, what you're doing is 3 main things, right? Anyone who wants to hit a little draw over irons. Preset path by playing the ball slightly back of centre.
Yeah.
Low hanging through. Now, not like this, because then it affects. Now, this will you're only doing it too much when the launch angle comes down too low or you start getting too steep, etc. So we're talking half a ball back of centre. Handle slightly forward to preset centre of mass behind, which encourages path again. So you've done a path issue with a path setup with the ball, a path setup with the handle, and then the face sits slightly open in relation to the target, but actually square to the shaft.
Yeah, so it starts.
So we want to start it right. So if you
basically, I'm starting them there on the line and they're going left. It needs to start like just here.
It's only 0.5 from the inside.
Yeah.
But the face at impact is 1.9 left of the target.
Yeah.
Right? Now that face still needs to be right of the target, but left of the path to hit a draw. Make sense?
Kind of. It's like a maths lesson.
Well, if we just think of it as perfect scenario, right? 0 is the target.
Yeah.
Face is 1 right. Path is 2 right.
Yeah.
So it's a 1-to-2 ratio.
Yeah.
And if you were 4 right with the path and then 2 right with the face, that's fine. If you were 5 right with the path and 2.5 right with the face,
It'll still be drawing anyway. Yeah.
Doesn't make a difference. And that's why you shouldn't try and hit the ball straight.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to hit it straight, everything has to be zeros.
Yeah.
If you're trying to hit a draw, assuming you've got a 1-to-2 ratio, even if your path, and it still be a big draw, but if your path is 8 to the right,
Mads, they hit draws and it's like 5 degrees from the inside, but it's like 5
or 6 or 7. But if the face is half of that, it's still going to finish on target.
3,
yeah, assuming you hit out of the middle, etc. But so you get more tolerance.
Right. So let me do that with it. It'll feel open to me, but it won't be.
Yeah. So start square. So you feel like it starts square here, but do it here, and then pop the handle forward. Feel like it opens slightly, and then bring that into the ball like that. That feels open, right?
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what happens. Play the ball slightly back. That is not open. That's absolutely fine. Handle forward slightly. Right shoulder back a tiny bit. Right. 3/4 swing. Hit the ball. Okay, so your face is still, so you flipped out the ball, 2.2 left. The path is...
And that's what I do, I flip it because I bottle it.
Because you feel like it's open. You have to just start trusting it. It's all right, hit a few more. So you're going to trust that it's open. Now, don't be afraid of leaving this one right. Open it more. Yep. Feel like this is you're going to leave it right. Normal. 3/4 swing, remember, don't lift.
I think that's going to...
Ooh, closer, right?
Yeah.
So so just to make this clear, right? You are 2 degrees across. Right, you're now 1 degree from the inside. It's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny.
So for you,
5 foot off line.
Yeah, it's nothing. But now you said could be when you said your words could be a bit more from the inside. I'd like to see a bit more of a draw. That's going to give you a tiny bit more of a draw. That's it. That's it. Now just be aware of that. That was quite good, right? This is just a smidge too close still.
Right.
So remember, if this is 1,
and that's 1,
this should be 0.4 or 5 open, not minus. If this one doesn't miss right, you owe me 10 grand. You started it right, I think.
I did.
Is it missing right? There you go. But look at that now.
Yeah.
Right. So path was 1. You didn't want to lose 10 grand, did you? Path was 1.3 from the inside.
Yeah.
Face was 0.2 open to the path. Right. So it was slightly too open. But I'm taking that shot way more than the other ones because 1, it started right. So if your intention is draw, number 1 rule: start the thing right if you're going to try and draw it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about, look, you look up and it's drawing, but it starts over there. It's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So that started right and just stayed pretty much dead straight. The curve number on that was what? I didn't know. 1 foot.
It's on the green, isn't it?
It's 1 foot, bro.
Yeah.
It's not on the green. It's about 6 feet right of the pin. So same again. Just start trusting that club face a bit more. Yep, there. Trust that. Keep it shorter. Quite neutral again. Maybe just missed left. No. Didn't pick up the data, but look at the ball flight. Very, 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 very neutral. Yeah. That had 1 foot. It finished 1 foot 1 left. We're going here now.
7-9.
7-9, so we still want to be slightly, so use that yellow cross, it's perfect, you've got one of them, right? You want that yellow cross just to be slightly, there you go, perfect, that's draw setup now. Start line was good on that one. This is where people can get misconstrued. Oh my God, I come over the top, oh, I left the face open. The face was perfect, 1 degree open. The path was 3 degrees over the top. Okay. So if your path had been 2 degrees from the inside with that, that's going to be a perfect draw.
Look at that on camera, it looks mental.
Give it a bit more synergy, get it working a bit more together. The first couple of swings, you were getting to a position, there was a little lift. Right, that's all, little lift, which is causing a bit of steepness. Makes sense, right? The higher these go, unless I reroute it, which you don't want to do, you want to go up and down the same line. Okay, so in theory, shoulder and down, shoulder and down. That's what it's going to feel like.
And if it goes 1 degree over, it'll have that little
that's it. Enough. You're not going to, with the pattern you've got, you're going to miss 20 feet left, 20 feet right, depending on what. It's easy. Yeah. It's fine. Did it start right at the stick?
Miles right. I hope it fit draws. Oh,
okay, so look at that, right? Great golf shot. I'm, again, super happy with that because look, path is now 2, so when you came in today, you were stock 2.4 across it on average. We looked at the data, I think, 2.2, 2.4. So now you're 2.7. Low point still amazing. Tack angle still amazing. Face is now open to the target. The face was still closed, 0.3 to the target, so it's probably going to have, you must have healed that hit smidge because otherwise it would have drew, right? So data said it should have drew a couple of yards. It stayed pretty neutral. But perfect. Look at the spin axis, 0-3. It's a dead straight golf shot.
That's going to be a good one, I think.
Oh, bloody hell, that's perfect. Right, so look. So what we said was so I said 2 to 1. So you're 2, 0.7. That's almost a perfect 2 to 1 ratio. Yeah. So it starts right of our target. Not much right of it. Has it got launch direction on there? Did I put it on there or I didn't?
I think you put it on.
Right, so it started just right of the target. It's got 7 feet of curve to the left. Yeah. Finishes 2 feet right of the target. That would what we would consider almost a perfect push draw. Pretty solid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So path, look at your path. Face was perfect, 2 degrees open.
Do you know how I do that? I think I go like...
You don't come down that white. No, that wasn't face, it was path, bro. Oh. Look. This was fine. Right, slightly open, it's the path. Start right?
Yeah.
Is it coming back?
No.
It's trying. Right, so that's not bad. Path 0.9, face 1 degree open. So say, for example, I'm just going to test you here. Say you kept it in that shot, right? You're like, got it started right. The path is from in to out, but I keep leaving my face open. What could you do? What's the easiest thing to do?
Do it a little bit less.
That's it. Yeah. That is literally it.
Right, so after the lesson, I wanted to go to the driving range. I went straight to the driving range just to see the ball flight in real life compared to a simulator. As you can see, little baby fade, the first one. I then set up how Chris said, ball back, a little bit of shaft lean, and boom, little baby draw. Next stop is the course. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you episode 2, Road to Scratch.